Hello and welcome back to the Hindu editorial analysis. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the today's Hindu editorial analysis. So let's have a recap what we are going to cover. But first starting the day with the thought of day that focus on where you want to go, not on what you fear. So for chasing the goals, you have to focus not on the fear, not on their consequences. You just have to focus on the destination that you want to reach. So let's have a recap what we are going to cover in the today's newspaper. So the first is about the US tariff opposition slams center inactions. Trump imposes 25% of the allies threatened retaliations. Today's the editorial is going to be interesting, so stay tuned till the last. And if you are first time visiting to my channel, spare some time and see the content. If you like the contents, subscribe to my channel and keep updated for you for the future Hindu editorial analysis. So front page is about the slams center in action. Second is the Trump imposes tariff actions affected allies threaten the retaliation. Second is about Putin to visit India after a year, says Foreign Minister Lavrov. And next is uh, it's already chief slams UP police's prayer diktat. Tamil Nadu adopted resolution against work-off amendment bill. Third is editorial covering about the US defense ties. India needs to keep its eye open. Next is about the European forces on the agenda as a Macron hosts the Ukraine meet. Fifth is about the mandatory pregnancy registration sparks the privacy concerns in Haryana. Sixth is the first season covering the arriving of mango. And 10 drug users shared a syringe tested HIV positive in Kerala. Seventh is the covering about the backdoor sensors and a woman unbound. And eighth is about the war information shared on Signal was not classified, says White House. So these are we are going to cover today. So let's have a starting with the front page about the US tariff opposition slam center in actions. So how the US tariffs creates opposition slams like center in action. They are creating their own discussions and allegating one another. About the Nirmala Sitharaman has said that she has already 9 new items are being ground in keeping in mind for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we have been doing this from 23. So this is ongoing process. And next is RPN saying the tariff is not implemented. What speech or what mention can anyone make on it? It will be talk about it only after implemented. And P. Chandram, opposition Congress leader, says that what is the government response, that there is a no been statement policy, no discussion in parliament, no consultation with opposition. The government is holding its card close to chest. It's all. So these are their comments of the US tariff imposition. So the Donald Trump recent announcement of opposition for related to this we'll cover editorial detail. Next page. So President Donald Trump recent the announcement of opposition members in opposition member in Rajya Sabha on Thursday and asked the centers to, if any specific plans, to MB raised the issues. And during discussion of approved finance minister, senior Congress MP and former finance chief minister P. Chidambaram, who has clarified countries. So how it is affecting the imposes tariff on 25% imported car affected the allies threatened retaliation. So there is a 25% of tariff imposed on the vehicles, expanding a global trade war, promoting criticism and threat of retaliations from affected US allies. So the new levies on the cars and light trucks will take effect on April 3, and the day after Mr. Trump plans to announce reciprocal tariff. The aimed countries reciprocal the bulk of US trade deficient. So US trade deficient, they are come up on top duties ready to introduce on steel, aluminium and goods from Mexico, Canada, China. So these are the small cars. Tata also exported their from India. Tata is also exported as a, and the driving here the table shows the share of expenditure of the imports type of cars and truck imported in USA in 22. And here we are SUVs and vans of 10.6%, pickups 0.4%, Jaguar and Land Rover auto parts unit may be taken a hit. So the US imported basically US imported 474 million dollar, $4 billion worth of an automobile products in 24, and it's worth 220 billion. Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Germany, and all US allies were the biggest suppliers, and US President 25% tariffs on the imported cars and auto part, and primarily automotive the Tata Motors. So US over 30% of sale, and India's components which contribute 27% of export to US. Next is about, so Putin to visit India this year, says a foreign minister. After visiting last in December 21, after the Russia-Ukraine war, Narendra Modi visited his first bilateral foreign visit to last year Russia, and now it's turned to Mr. Lavrov, and now it's turned for Vladimir Putin, said the foreign minister of Russia, Lavrov. Russian president accepted invitation in the head of Indian government, and the head of the visit of head of Russia state of the Republic of India is being prepared. He added, like this crisis begin in India. Mr. Putin's first trip to India since Ukraine crisis began in February 22, and he visited on last December 21, December 6, 2021, 21st Russia annual summit. He has visited last time in India, and Mr. Modi to visit early in 25, and Mr. Modi last visited Russia July for 22 India Russia summits. So Kazan meet, I've already discussed about that. Next is the Tamil Nadu adopted the resolution against the Waqf Amendment Bill. The government, Union government withdraw the Waqf Amendment 2024 introduced in Lok Sabha, and the Chief Minister added by removing the Section 40 of Waqf Act bill transferring authority. So the political parties includes AIMDK. AIMDK supported the resolution, and BJP member Bangul government decided to amend of Waqf under regulatories and properties, and objective is to trust of backward sections. So next is the editorial covering the US defense ties, and the same related to next one article. So we'll collectively discuss about it. So the third is about the US defense ties, and India keep its eyes open. So in the state secret, the defense public sector undertaking the India's armed forces, their captive customers like Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, and dependence only increases, has added the stress planners of Indian Air Force that they juggle with the deplementing squadron strength with IF. The new it's a jet fighter aircraft is a Tejas Mk-11. It's a 4.5th generation aircraft, and it's already launched by HAL, given to the handing over the event to first rear fuselages for Tejas, which is a made private manufacturer, has been highlighted. So SIPRI report and US policy says that the first latest Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, its report for 24 shows that India is the second highest arms importer in the world. And however, the fact that India's import has reduced by 9.3% from the weapon systems such as aircraft, tank, top end continue to imported the years. And the second, IF has thrown its lightweight already discussed about the Tejas MKL, Tejas MK2, an advanced medium combat aircraft. It can question is important question as a from the science and tech. So the function of America's calculation for India's strategic calculus weakened by the heavy dependence and the Russia's contribution of 36% of arm imports. The IF inventory 270 Sukhoi Su-30 fighter, S-400 missile system. Indian Navy stand against positive. So third is a frequent coinage of a fancy sounding new policies, US relations, decades India keep the vis-a-vis, and defense of technology trade. So partnership is a keyword, like it is a historical reality to back negative appreciation. The joint statement after US in April 26, a defense relationship is between India and US. Similar sentiment has been talked about Modi talks. And $1 million question is that two nations are culturally, financially, and differing world outlooks and defense analyses. And partnership can be succeeded only if the grounded mutual responsibility, since anything else create dependency. And the indispensability factors tested by parties equal, interchangeable, can blend seamlessly, and truth analysis of their respective defense sectors shows that there is a great asymmetry in capabilities. Follow up only result, but the same question is asked about the relationship in India to say with Russia. So outlive the Washington geopolitical interest and dumped like a fly a teacup of. So this being back to the theme that article we are heading toward is a correct way to look US for our strategic amendment needs, and uns it's surprisingly actually the Washington whether US wants a true partnership in which making India potentially itself US especially friendly slant in relations, and New Delhi must ensure its decisions ensure to interest in US policies in a reversal in geopolitical environment and in craft equipment. So concluding the article here, next is about the mandatory pregnancy registration spark the privacy over concerns in Haryana. So the Haryana is implementing registration, mandatory pregnancy registration. So it is going to be held. Registration is mandatory in the first trimester of the pregnancy, and Haryana government had implemented for furthering like having knowledge of how much the sex ratio is declined, whether it is MTP, like medical termination pregnancy or not. So it can be a good initiative, but the question is fact is that the many pregnancy should be high, like pregnancy can be hide for the like next 4 5 month, and after that there is a there is a law about after the child is born there is a birth registration is made. But what is the this initiative about the Haryana government? So the registration of pregnant women mandatory during first trimester, invasion of our privacy, and there is also the invasion of the privacy and existing of law termination pregnancy, and also unintended consequences such as driving women to seek safe abortion outside the formal health care. So the HIS has achieved 100% registration of pregnant women with current 50 to 80% registration across the district. To register the reproductive child health RCS portal, you must provide a personal details including Aadhaar card, husband name, dress, caste, registrations, address, and registrations of intended to being monitoring reporting of RMCS reproductive various schemes. So the Indian Medical Association Haryana has lauded the initiative to ensure the optimal antenatal services, a great initiative, and reducing or toward reducing pregnancy loss during the first 12 weeks and combating the female feticides. But also I have a 2-page letter about teachers starting the of medical termination pregnancy as MTP. MTP Act basically it was first implemented and so they amended, and 2021 MTP Act says that whether it's a child, whether the female is married or unmarried, they can abort a child in a safe place consequences without any hiding any without making it illegal in the terms of for unmarried women. But this registration act, if someone is unmarried and they not keeping the confidentiality can create a problems. So the confidentiality issues like several times criticized order suggesting it was issued in haste without considering its implementation. Former president has expressed against the spirit of MTP Act, which prohibits disclosing the names, other particular of women who have undergone with the local auxiliary midwives, now ANMs, to sole the authority of registering pregnant women on RCS portal, and also compromising the patient confidentiality, letting a local know about unwanted pregnancies could lead to identity of women being leaked in neighborhood, might differ the pregnant women who are unmarried and those who are seeking abortion getting themselves registered. These are the problems like allowing exceptions. Gynecologist Jyoti Yadav advocate the pregnant women's right of to privacy as a guarantee under the MTP Act, and she said law permit the termination pregnancy up to 20 weeks. So the registration of all pregnant women during the first trimester for monitoring their health is stress is there is no conflict with MTP Act, and promoting health seeking support of medical fraternity. Officials said it aims to promote health pregnant women, child, and monitoring pregnant addresses to skew the sex ratio. So he dismissed the concern of invasion privacy and found and assured that formation would be stored within the government system. So Haryana sex ratio but was witnessed a decline dropping to 910 in 24 to lowest to in 8 years. Sixth is about the mango arrived at a shop in Bangalore and Thursday ahead of its Ugadi celebrations. So already the mango is arrived in the arrived before the seasoning started, and you should be aware of like consuming of mangoes before it's because it was already ripe by the using the carbides. That is not it is for prior selling. They use these type of methods to save from this. Just wait for a right time when in motion when the climate is according to it, so that it is properly right by the natural way. And there's one more case is about the 10 drug users who shared a series test in HIV positive in Kerala. So in Shocking, there is a 10 persons who shared the syringes for infusing drugs have been founded for the carrier of human deficiency virus HIV at Mallapuram District, Kerala. Health authorities also found 6 out of their migrant workers, and it is routine prison screening conducted in Kerala AIDS Control Society. They tested one of the newly arrested drugs for HIV positive, and it's suspicious that possibility of virus spread within one another who were in constant touch with him. Many of 15 contacts the person were tested and HIV positive. So this drug basically the uses of syringes and for taking the drugs can create, if any one person has HIV AIDS, it will just spread to the another person, and it is a that kind of disease that is very fatal, that till that will exist till your life. So these are the news from Kerala. Next is about 7th is the back of censor and Women Unbound. So it's about the Sahyog portal for safeguards that X has launched the case about in Karnataka High Court that it was not going to implement with the Sahyog portal. So there is a follow-up of Office Memorandum by Ministry of Electronics and Technology in October 23 authorizing the government agency under section of IT Act. The creation of Sahyog was disclosed by the Ministry of Home Affairs and in Delhi in High Court last Delhi Oris. So the section 79 of IT Act provided it. The 79 Act provides safe harbor protection to intermediaries so that they are not liable for third-party content hosted, and 73(9)(b) section 73(9)(b) provides an exception to this protection if intermediary receives actual knowledge by using section 73(9)(b) 739B to enable the creation of what is content takedown portal. The government as X rightly claims its petitions via passes and of limitation safeguard under section 69A of IT Act, which allows the content blocking only on a specific grounds such as national security and public order, and mandate the procedural safeguards such as designated office approval. So X claims also justify reasonably the possibility of Sahyog being used as a tool for unchecked censorship, and it is medium to for opportunity for challenging the order, not for any procedural protections or any like it violates the Sahyog is used for a medium of address blocking orders. There seem to be no opportunity for challenging it. So the Supreme Court implementation of portal could be ultra vires and violates the Supreme Court judgment in Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, while Delhi High Court has also filed a petition challenging Sahyog here. Next is the women. So it's about the public spaces must be always safe for everyone. Why women is unbound to such places? Women remain very for feeling unsafe in most public spaces. Like many incidents about the first 3 incident months of 25 highlights that how vulnerable women are, especially in public transport. Like there is a case of a 23-year-old woman who has sustained severe injuries after jumping off train to escape an assaulter. In another shocking case, a pregnant woman who was alleged pushed for out of train following an attempted rape suffered miscarriage. Harassment is a regular ordeal for women in unreserved train compartments and government buses. So, who is accountable for this grim reality? And when society claimed to be champion women empowerment, his seminal work Why Later, and it's Silpa Padke, Samira Khan, Silpa Ranade argued that when society say it want to protect women, it does not strive to make publics want to protect women, but it does not strive to make public safe. Instead, it seeks to confine women to home, schools, care of others. Even today, we must have constantly considered the time of day they travel. So, a necessary starting point is affirming the women have a right to live and move freely without fear. So while it's easier said than done, a recent Delhi High Court ruling has set example of a man who sexually harassed a woman in public bus in 2050, called it deeply concerning a reality that harassment in public spaces persists despite decades of independence and tough law. So why there is so much leniency in the law, but instead of providing a safe place in a public, they are sending to their homes, staying at a home, not able to leave a right to live and move freely. So the equally significant Supreme Court India's decision stay High Court order that outrageously ruled inappropriate touching insensitive human interpretation law are unacceptable. And already we have covered the yesterday articles about the it's a such a insensitive inhuman cases that are not highlighting not creating a center for creating it a serious thing. So finally, the Supreme Court now have a seeking uh, look to that sensitive cases. So the administrative bodies must ensure streets are well lit, police are trained to handle cases of harassment effectively. Without a coordinated, all encompassing approaches to society, women will continue to live in fear and rightful access to public life. Next article is about the war information shared on Signal was not classified, says White House. So the administration's struggle on Wednesday to fall out of it's a revelation of top national security's official discourse of messaging apps that has mistakenly added journalists to chain. The White House said that information has through the publicly Signal app. Jeffrey Goldberg, an editor-in-chief and Atlantic magazine. So the president term during the Oval Face appearance have a new tariffs promoted to vehicles seems to be frustrated as a reporter repeatedly questions him about the matter, like the decisions of determining whether information is classified ultimately lies in defense. So there is not FAI thing of spared from discussion of not spared from the questions about the lawmakers and Bi Kadaur. So they testified he had not personally reviewed the text messages that were inwardly, and even Trump has insisted that it is not really an FBI thing. So in reality is FBI and Justice Department for decades responsible for handling the National Defense Formation for kind shared on Signal publicly available on communication, but not approved classified information. So that's for today. Let's have a summary and ending this session. Front page is covering about the US tariff opposition, Slam Center in action. Trump imposes 25% tariff on imported cars, affected allies threatened retaliation. Second is about Putin to visit India this year, says the Foreign Minister Lavrov. Third, the article covering about US defense ties, India needs to keep eyes open. Fourth is about the European force on agenda to Macron high. I think this had left. So the European forces agenda has Macron to host a Ukraine meet. So responded the peace deal could be responded to Russia attack if Moscow launch one. And Macron spoke after the Ukraine president in the Paris for some 30 nations. So Thursday a discussion proposed to be so that Macron suggested could be deployed in important towns elsewhere. So these are the coalition of nations willing to one way to another support of deployment of armed forces in Ukraine with the aim of securing lasting peace by dissuading Russia from attacking the country again. Next is the mandatory pregnancy registration sparked privacy concerns in Haryana. Sixth slide covering about 10 drug users who shared syringe tests and HIV positive and the mangoes arrived in Bangalore. Seventh is about the backdoor sensor and women unbound, and eighth is about the war informed share signal classified White House. So thank you for today for tuning till the last, and if you like this content, just give me a feedback, any suggestion if you want. And I am continuously uploading this series no matter what. Every time I have not uploaded the series when the situation that I'm not able to upload it in a many worse condition, like but every time I've uploaded time. So just have a spare some time and see the contents, and if you like it on already subscribe, just give me a feedback and suggestion. It's mattered a lot to me. Thank you, and tomorrow we'll meet with a new editorial. Till now, good night, study well, take care.